The Dragon family gold may never be returned. This commentary was inspired by a report in Ben Fulford's newsletter, dated 4 August 2014, which reported as follows. There was a lawsuit brought against the families that own the Federal Reserve, i.e. the Bushes, the Rockefellers, the Mellons, the Morgans, the Warburgs, the Rothschilds, etc., to hand back gold that was deposited with them in 1938. News reports from the time confirm that U.S. warships did evacuate gold from Kuomintang China to keep it out of Japanese hands. The gold was traded for 60-year U.S. government bonds, and after the 60 years ended, the gold was supposed to be handed back. That's from Fulford's Summary of the Recent History of the Ongoing Battle for Planet Earth, dated 4 August 2014. I reckon, although they may want it, the Dragon families are unlikely to get their gold back. That is, their gold with quotes. Because the gold for bond schemes was not a legal exchange. How could it be? In reality, it was theft by the cabal, designed to look like an exchange. A legal exchange of that size would have required the approval of U.S. Congress, and that was never sought. A web poster called Gene Lowe has written, quote, my own conclusion has been that someone who seemed to be from the U.S. scammed wealthy Chinese and Asians, hoovering up their gold in return for counterfeit gold bonds. These bonds look real, but have spelling errors, and were never legal debts of the American people. If they get the gold back, and I hope they do, they will have to get it back from the shadow secret governments, or whomever these shadowy people were who ran this scam. I would genuinely like to have them succeed. That's from Gene Haynes' blog in late July of this year. The Dragons will have to find a way to legally beat the cabal who stole their gold. That means taking them to court, proving the gold was stolen, providing they have a valid legal claim on the gold, and then, the toughest part of all, enforcing a judgment against these cabal groups. This will certainly not be easy, and I do not see it happening in a single big court case. To start with, what court will take on this case and be able to enforce it? Yet, an apparent desire to get hands on cabal gold is rising all over the planet. Much of the sound and fury around Neil Keenan may be related to this drama, and the emergence and disappearance of scammer groups like OPPT and Swiss Indo may also be driven by pretenders who think they can get a piece of the historical gold merely by establishing some sort of internet claim upon it. I think it should be obvious that none of these bogus groups are succeeding. And there also seems to be a secret battle going on among various dragon families to get in on what they hope will be the recovery of the historical gold now that the cabal is rapidly losing power along with the fading U.S. empire. But what if the gold is no longer held by the same people who took it? And what court will today be able to determine who the legal owners are after so much time has gone by? 60 years is a long time. Most or all of the signers of those agreements, if there were agreements, are probably long dead. And new types of dragon claimants seem to be springing up everywhere, with new colors of dragons popping up every month or two, and using various internet spokespeople as vehicles for establishing the legitimacy of their claim. But these efforts may all be wasted. Consider another matter. Suppose the gold itself was sold for cash long ago, and has been spent on building up underground bases and secret off-Earth weaponry and spacecraft. If that is the reality of our world today, it is going to be very difficult for these old dragon families to recover the value they believe they have lost. The gold booty they seek probably has long been disposed of. What court do you imagine can foreclose on an underground base or off-planet assets on the far side of the moon, on Mars, or beyond? The gold they seek may now be lost in space or sold and resold, hypothecated and rehypothecated many times. Even if some of the gold can be found, a true ownership link of old gold to present-day dragons may be impossible to determine, even if a court can be found to take on such an old and bizarre case. I suggest that these dragon families should stop jockeying for position, trying to gain a windfall that may never be coming their way. Instead, they can invest the substantial money and power they still control to simply bring the cabal itself into the jurisdiction of a court where theft can be legally adjudicated and the criminals brought to justice. Seeking those old assets can come after that, once the claim and crime has been established. Meantime, the dragon families can join the global efforts to bring about a new monetary system, one that does not allow power to be so heavily concentrated into such a tiny fraction of 1% of humanity. They can seek to bring back to the people power which is now concentrated with central banks, bankster clients, and war and health profiteers. We need to move towards a planet where passive and parasitic power grabs can be deterred forever on our beautiful planet.